Dala, dala, dala. Welcome, 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 and welcome back to those of you returning. So today I just wanted to share with you another question that came from a French-speaking subscriber about salt bath. I think you guys have many. I've done a couple of videos explaining salt bath, and but here I thought I will just give you things that may not have been so fleshed out in terms of the basics of it. So the first thing to understand when you're doing a salt bath is why you're doing it. Usually you're doing it because you're feeling there is an imbalance. You can be doing it because you feel that there's negativity or negative energy within you or around you, and you're doing it basically to purify your body, to neutralize that negative energy. It's very important for you to understand that salt baths are a temporary measure. It's like putting a band-aid. Depending on how important the issue is, it may just temporarily give you a temporary relief or a temporary alleviation of whatever you're going through. However, it's very important anytime you feel like there's negativity within you, around you, that you look for the source of that negativity to eliminate the source of it. And if you can't manage to identify or trace the source yourself, please seek help to do it, because otherwise you find yourself having to do this bath constantly, and that's not the purpose of salt bath. Salt bath is really a quick remedy when you really feel bad, or you really feel in a emergency situation. You see that your energy is being drained, there's something happening. You're doing the salt bath so you can have some time and space to figure things out and actually do things to change that. Please do not use salt bath constantly. You shouldn't be doing salt bath every day unless you're doing workings. That means you're doing works for other people, with other people, and then you're cleansing yourself. But normally this is not something that you should be using every single day. It's just like any type of medication. The more you use it like that for little things, and the more or less efficient it may become in the future, just because you start causing it, and depending on what you're doing, some entity can be attaching to you even though you don't feel the negativity anymore. But those are like extreme cases. So anyway, so you're doing it to elevate yourself from some negativity around you or within yourself. Now the reason why I also make the distinction between some of the videos that I made in terms of like taking a bath and adding the salt in it, which is more of a northern modern practice, because back in the days there wasn't any tub. In traditional medicine, traditional Africa, you want to have a tub to do it, and they will ask you to use a bucket of water. And for two main reasons. The first one is that you're supposed to use only the water, the amount of water that's necessary. So it enables you not to be wasting water, because you don't need a ton of water just to be able to cleanse yourself with salt water. Because if you pour it from the top, the water has a time to go throughout your body and out. The second reason why is that it prevents you from sitting in the ooze of the negative energy. Because you realize if you're using a bathtub, whatever negativity you have within you is going to be, lurking around in the water that you are sitting in. So if you're going to do a bathtub, I would recommend a bathtub better for anything that you're doing to relax, for relaxation, or to gain more energy, to get a boost of energy. There's different salts that you can use for that are great for that. That means you will have already done your purification before, probably in the shower, and then you get into the bath for relaxation or energy boost. So the real basics is that you're doing it as a temporary measure while you figure things out. That means the second portion of figuring things out you also have to do in order to not have to do this constantly. There are resources I've mentioned. I talked about negative energy and kind of purifying yourself in the series about nightmares, so you can find some information in there. And if you cannot scroll through, go to the last, I think it's the last video of the series where I go over each of the tools that you can use to deal with negative energy. You can also go see my salt bath video, I believe. This focuses a little bit more on terms of using the bathtubs, but in there could be also a lot of information about how to do the salt bath. You can also check out my videos on the power of salt, where it explains different types of salts and how you can use them, so you have a little bit in there also. but essentially you're using salts to be able to neutralize negative energy. One other thing to note is that it's not the more salt you use, the better, the more efficient it's going to be. Always remember, back in the days, or from the traditional perspective, it's not the quantity of things. You're not there to go and buy a bunch of salt or a bunch of stuff. You use what you have at hand. And if you look in history, salt used to be a currency. It used to be very expensive. It used to be cherished because you need it for life. You need to make food. So it's not something that you're going to be using like that. It's not the more you put in it and the better, the more efficient it's going to be. You have to understand that you're using salt not on the bare physical aspect, even though, yes, it's quote is proven, quote, scientifically that salt neutralizes the negative energy. However, we don't need the scientific basis for it. We're using the energetical and the spiritual basis for it, which means what it represents, what kind of energy it has, and that means you don't need a lot to be very efficient. So if you see that you only have like a teaspoon left of salt, do your salt bath with that. Take a bucket of water, put that little teaspoon left that you had, or whatever salt you had left, and it doesn't matter if it's Himalayan sea salt. It doesn't matter if it's just your table salt that you have, your coarse salt that you have in the kitchen. Use what you have on hand, because the essence is not, the quality of the salt or anything of that. It's really the essence of the salt. What salt represents and what it is made of on the spiritual and energetical level. You put that in there, and then usually you go cleanse yourself. That means you take a shower, you wash yourself, you clean yourself, and then you just pour the water over yourself. Now, once you pour the water over yourself and put it over your head so that it really goes through your aura, your hair is included in there, everything is being wet, and then you let that float in the shower, so that as the water goes down, it takes away the negativity from you, away from you, into the drain, and then you can just put your pajamas and go to bed. But you don't dry yourself or pad yourself with a towel. The point is that you let that water just air dry, or put with your pajamas, or if you're going to go to bed like that. So ideally, you do it at night. You do it at the end of the day when you've done everything else that you need to do, so that the next step for that is for you to go and rest. So that's really the basics. Now, you can get very elaborate where you add herbs into the water and things like that. But for somebody who's just who just need a quick fix, who doesn't know anything, who's never tried this before, this basic soul bath is all what you need. And I will say it's always important to just use what you need rather than using things in excess. Too often we used to, I'm going to add, the more soap I put, the cleaner the clothes are going to be. No. Matter of fact, you may have a residual of salt in the clothes or have to rinse the clothes very well after that when you're using too much soap. If you use too much shampoo on your hair is going to dry up. So it's not the more you use and the better it is. It's really just use what's necessary, use what's needed. And that's why if you don't have much salt and you borrow, what you're going to get is a pinch of salt from the neighbor, use that, because it's not, you have to understand that when you're doing a salt bath, you are working on a spiritual level. You're not working on the material. It's not about the bucket. It's not about the water that's in the bucket. It's about the spiritual essence of those elements, of the water element, of the salt that you use. So yeah, that was that. I think if you have any questions or comments, just leave them below what you think about that. And I'll see you in the next video.